any tunnel will do. Oh my, I expanded my tailor number quite extensively, and I forgot about doing so. Right, most of them up here. So let's get a number of wool coats. And actually, I'm going to also start producing a few warm coats as well, because I do know that I have both the prerequisites. I am starting to run low on the stone and iron front due to my, I suppose, somewhat extreme expenditures of them. It's actually entirely fine if I totally run out of stone. The only time there would be an issue is if I entirely ran out of iron. Oh my. Late autumn, and I'm only at 610,000 food. Although I have produced a good amount this year, going into winter. Suppose this is a situation though where I need to look at the graphs. Food. Yes, I do have it spiking, is the thing. So it's harder to tell. So 10 years, how about that? It seems to be maybe not entirely on an uptrend. Yeah, it seems to be kind of stably going up and down. But I think that means that I do need to expand my food production. Maybe I could cut into this area a small farming community. Who knows? I suppose there are lots of possibilities. I also do need a chapel. Oh, that's pretty convenient actually. Do need to make sure that something can fit on the side of that. It doesn't look like it actually. So I'm gonna clear that structure out and then hopefully replace it. Let's establish a few stone houses here as a given, just because there should be some people really close to the worksite. And then I can establish a chapel right here. It's good enough for me. Well, this area seems to be shaping up quite quickly and quite nicely. Although I do think it could also use a hospital somewhere down here. I wonder, is the footprint of a hospital roughly the same of that of a... roughly the same. I'm not sure if they're exactly the same though. Let's see. Pause that. No. Surround it with a dirt road. Okay. Cancel it. And then try to replicate a tavern in it. It seems like it's a little bit bigger than a tavern. Just a tad bit though. Well, I'm sure that the production of these buildings is now almost shot. Although, they did manage to break in one last very good season. These guys also had a very nice season, and Forester Lodge also did decently. So, nothing to be disappointed with there. That's how I like to leave it. Let's see exactly how many 11 by 11s I can fit. Oh, and of course I can't fit a storage barn. That'd make it just too easy. The only reason I don't feel it good to set them down the other way is because I like them to have road access. Although I suppose it doesn't really matter if they have road access or not, because citizens can walk through crop fields. I guess then that makes its own point, and I should remove those roads. Oh, but another reason was I didn't want to set them down not knowing exactly how square I could make them. Okay, so that should fit another one once that hunting cabin is removed. Okay, so let's go way over here. Oh, bugger. That's going to be just barely blocked off by that single house. Remove that structure. Unfortunately, I know it was just about to finish, too. And unfortunately, there's no way I could move that over by one. It's right on the verge for everything. But whether I want to is also a good question. You know that'll start to encroach in the Forester's Lodge. Well, this year is not looking as good food-wise as the last few. Last few I seem to have a bit of a explosion in my food count and production. But this one has not been kind to me. Not so far, at least. I think I'm satisfied with that setup. Oh my. I'm actually not sure anymore. Because with the way that looks... Alright, I'm absolutely going to need to clear these out immediately. Because I will get housing through here. But I'm not even sure if that's going to be enough. Considering all of the work that's going to be over here. Well, with this added section, it might be. Just maybe. I suppose another thing I should do is move this out a little. Give them a 7x7 here. And then remove that structure. While I'm at it, I'll remove this storage barn. And then I can maybe optimize this area a little bit. Potentially construct a few more houses. Things like that. Oh dear, I am running high on the ale stock. I don't think I've ever quite seen it that high. I'll try to start stocking it just about everywhere I can. Seems like seed merchants and livestock merchants still don't accept ale. As long as I can trade the ale for something, it'll be effective. Whether that ale goes towards purchasing stone and iron and logs, or whether it goes towards like direct food exchange. Honestly, it might be better if it went towards direct food exchange, because then I would not get the 25% loss that I incur with firewood. Because of the way firewood works, food merchants will only accept firewood at a value of 3, as opposed to its true value of 4. Still, whether it just enriches me by my resource count, or directly increases my food storage itself, I am sure the ale is a more than welcome addition. And see, running through and getting my trade ports to stock ale has dipped the supplies of it back down. Oh, well, I could get those supplies very high if I chose. I do have quite a few taverns that need workers as of yet. Okay. Well, now I have some more space. Establishing my stone housing as I had originally planned. Oh my, that is a perfect fit. I could not have asked for something better. I was not planning that. I thought I would have a few spaces left over here and there. But no, that is an utterly perfect fit. That, not so much, but it's alright. It's off by a space of 1. I'm not going to be too harsh for that. Something I do, however, see a need for in this area back over here. There are a few wells, maybe. It would appear most of the people living here are currently employed as builders. I think I'm going to make a run on that then. Reset that down to 0. 2 new blacksmiths. These are all laborers now, right? Most of them, yes. A few of them have picked up other jobs. But now I should be able to fill up these taverns, no problem. Now I wonder what my specific inventory of apples are. Holy shit! I did very well there. And that is absolutely the reason why I specifically ordered apples from a lot of the general merchants. As long as they're bringing apples, I will see just absolutely wonderful stores of alcohol start to rise. Although it appears I may have overstocked a little. Ah, well, here we go. Here is example 1, that food merchants do accept ale. There's no good reason for me to trade them firewood when they accept ale. 400 units. Absolutely wonderful. And I believe each unit of ale is made from a very simple 3 units of a corresponding fruit. That will help me to bolster my food. Absolutely and entirely. Of course. Of freaking course. I don't know how. I don't know why, but just of course. Not even mad. Actually quite pleased. I swear I don't try to do these things, they just happen. What number is that? 500, 600, 650 something. Yes. Alright. 75. Oh, but of course, there's not enough space. It actually aggravates me a little bit that I built all those so far out onto the coast that they didn't get the proper amount of storage area. If I were to redo this map, I would try to make sure that as many of them are placed as far inland as possible. I know that for some of them, it'll still be the case that they'd have to be far out, but at this point I can say that I need more stone. Although, I can also say I don't necessarily need to be trading ale for that, but I should actually be trading firewood. If you'd look at my firewood supplies, you would see why. I've got quite the stock of firewood piling up. And that's going to mean that I'll have survivability for at least a good while until my trade capacity no longer meets the ability to feed my population at the very least. Hopefully I don't see that happen in the very near future. Otherwise we could have some serious issues. Of course you have apples. Of course you have apples. And I love you for it. Oh, I forgot to reassign those builders. I pulled them off for their purposes and never reassigned them. And now hopefully I can get these stone houses complete, up, ready to go. And I might leave these farms fallow until I end up seeing these houses complete. I don't want to rush into anything and have farmers that for many years are living way too far away to be able to effectively do their jobs.